Hey guys, welcome back. It's Dave. A couple nights ago, I put a video up of a new quick capping method, if you want to call it, dealing with the positions at lengths behind and positions at the first call and second call. And I had said that it's not a standalone method. It could really use something to piggyback with. And I've been working hard the last two nights on trying to put together something that might go hand in hand with it. And I think I have something here that may go very well with it. I have not combined it, but I did test these out on some past races, and I have a current race coming up, race 3 at Mountaineer tonight, that we're going to be able to check out. But here's what it is. I wanted to stay with the same theme or pattern as far as dealing with lengths off at call, first call, second call. And here's what I came up with that could possibly go well along with that last grid. And I'm not going to call it anything right now. Because, the whole saying goes, what's in a name? I'm just going to let you know what's going on here. If you look at these columns right here, I have 1C, I have lengths 1C, I have a 1C rating. Turn rating, 2C rating, final fraction rating, and this is a final or finish rating. So this is kind of like the TC rating right here. This is the overall. And let me show you what I did. I'm not going to show step by step what I did here right now, but I'm going to just give you an idea. This here is the actual time of the race at the first call, the quarter. Okay, these are sprint races. I think most of them are sprint races. I use the 22 as the standard, would be 100. So if the race ran a 22 quarter, first quarter, you'd have 100 here. So we have a 92, which means it ran 8 ticks off of the 22, which was a 23 and 3. Then next to it, this is the length behind in that race at that call for each of these horses. Okay, so this horse was 3.5 lengths off of a 92 rating, which gives him a first call rating of an 88.5. All right, so when I do that with all these horses, it gives me a projection, again, based on if I used an accurate pace line. Okay, I'm trying to stay recent with the races that I'm choosing to use, just like when we do our velocity grids. I'm trying to pick a recent race that fits this horse's running style at today's distance or close to today's distance and get my numbers from them. Okay, so each of these numbers are only coming off of one race and not a combination of 2 or 3 of them. So what we have here is we have a first call rating off of each of these horses' last races. So the 7 here has a 95. The 7 is projected to be in the lead for me, assuming I'm accurate here at the first call of the race. Now, let's see what happens next. The next thing I do is I take the turn time, which is first quarter to second quarter, and I'm going to get a fraction in the 20s, 24, 25, 26, whatever. Again, using 22 as the standard, I'm going to convert that to a rating. Okay, 22 would be 100. And these are our ratings, 93, 94, 95. So these two here ran 23s. And that's after being adjusted lengths gained and length lost. Okay, so this is the true internal fraction of each of these horses and not the raw time from the race. Okay, this is where it gets interesting after this. So we have the 7 horses, also the top turn time at 96, turn rating. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I want to take the highest, and I want to adjust all the rest of them off of the highest. So we have a 96. So he's the highest. So I'm going to carry his 95 over into a 2C rating, and I'm going to adjust all the rest of them off of that. So here, this is 1 point off of 96. So I'm going to take 1 point off of his 1C rating and give him an 89.25. This is 2 points off of the 96. So that 88 would now become an 86. And so on and so forth. So what I'm doing here is I'm adjusting every one of these horses' first call rating to see what their new rating would be at the second call based off of the 7 horse here, who is the top. Okay? He stays at a 95. So now we're looking at the second call, and we're seeing who had this best second call right now. Who potentially will be in the lead? We'll see that some horses dropped. Okay, in this case, every horse dropped because they all had a good. Actually, no, they didn't all drop, right? 88, 86. Yeah, they did for the most part. But now what I'm doing is I'm putting the final fraction rating in. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm getting the raw final fraction from the race. And for each horse, I'm adjusting length gained or lost from the halftime if it's a sprint race to the final time to get the internal fraction for each of these horses. And I'm using the 22 again as a standard. It doesn't matter if you use a 22, 23, 24. As long as you use the same standard for every horse, it's all relative. It's just that the numbers are going to be a little bit higher or lower depending on what you use as your standard. So then I'm doing the same thing now. We have the highest rating here of an 87. So I'm going to carry that 85.5 over and keep it as an 85.5. And I'm going to adjust the rest of them off of that. So we have an 83, which is 4 points less. I'm taking 4 points off the 88.25, and I now have an 84.25. And so on and so forth. When I'm done, I have my estimated or approximate, depending on, again, the accuracy on what I'm doing here, of who I like as my top contender. I like the 7 horse. The 7 horse looks like it may go wire to field. Okay, he was on the top from start to finish. Okay, we have the 5 horse as the second, the 1 horse as the third. I'm sorry, no, the 8 horse as the third, and the 1 horse as the fourth. Now, if you look to your right here, you'll see this was the actual result of the race. 7, 1, 8, and the 2 actually came in fourth. Okay, but we did hit the try there with our top play winning that race. Okay, now we're not going to look at payoffs and prices right now. I'm not trying to sell anything right now. All I'm doing is trying to find something that might even be a standalone. Who knows? Because this is a little more in depth than the grid that I presented to you the other night. This is actually goes in a little more detail, and it compares runners based off of each other, off of their own individual pace lines that you choose out of your list of PPs. Now you look at Woodbine 2. We had a 3, 5, and the 8 were tied with the 7. 3-5 actually came out. It was a 3-5-1-4 finish in Woodbine 2. So right there, it nailed again. The top horse was nailed at as the 3, and the 5 comes second. So that was the exacta right there. You look at Woodbine 5. Woodbine 5, after it's all said and done, the 4 horse was the top. 4, 1, 6, 5, and we didn't get the exotic there, but we did get the 4 winning that race again. So 3 out of 3 right now accuracy as far as predicting top play. Woodbine 7, I did not check that out, but I tested on a few today at Mahoning Valley. There's not a lot to choose from today, but this first one, the 1 horse, was a standout for me. 1, 2, 5, 7. I tossed 4 horses out when I was doing my initial readings here, and we actually hit that cold 1, 2, 5, 7. Same thing with race number 2. We had the 1, 4, 5, and the 6. It came out 1, 4, 5, 6. The third race, the 4 was our top play. 1, 6, and 3, and sure enough, 4, 1, 6, 3 came out. Now again, short fields. The 6th race, we had the 7 as our top play. 7, 8, 12, 10. Actually, you know what? This here was the... Let me check Mahoning Valley 7th real fast. And the 3rd, because I think I might have just listed my selections there. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm going to pause for a second, and I'll pull the results up so you can see them as well. Actually, the 3rd was actually 6, 5, 3, 1 came out in the 3rd. So we weren't as accurate there. But we did have the 6, 3, and the 1. The 4 horse let us down here. Now, we have 1 minute till Mountaineer. So I want to go to the Mountaineer 3rd right now. This is the race that's coming up. And we'll see what we have. Right now in this race, I'm going to put them up here. I like the 8 and the 6. Same ratings, but the 8 actually has the turn time rating. So I'm going to go favor the 8 over the 6. 2, 3. And we'll see what happens here. Let's see right now. Let's see who's favored in this race. We have the... Oh, I'm on the wrong race here. Mountaineer. Let me get this off the screen. I did play a 6-8 over 2-3-6 over 2-3-8 just to have some skin in the game. But the 3 horse is actually the top play. And again, our selections here are the 8-6-2-3. We have the 3 as 4. The 3 does have the best final fraction. But based on what we have here to interpret this, is that final fraction enough to make up for what's lacking over here on the turn and where his initial placement's going to be? We'll see. We'll come back when the race is about to go off. Okay, they're in. Let's keep an eye on who gets the lead here.
They're off and racing. Bit of an awkward start for Bakersfield Babe. Didn't really miss it by too far. Settles midfield. From the outside.
All right, well, our 8 is on front. He's going to have to go gate to wire here.
This one can run, and now on the outside, Hot Take is moving up quickly. Then comes Sister Joanne, who's racing in 4th spot, only 2.5 off the lead. Bakersfield Babe is behind them and now taking off 3 deep. A break in the field. Around the outside is Love Gone Wild, followed by Brianna Harper and La Cadenza. Now it's Hot Take going to the lead, running past the quarter pole. It's,
see if that 8 can come back.
The center, and this one can run on the inside.
Oh, 8 came back. Here we go.
Sister Joanne,
can we get that 3 and the 6 in there?
Brianna Harper and La Cadenza. Running down inside the furlong pole, and the leader, Lieutenant Lydia.
Come on, get that 6 for second.
In front. On the outside is Hot Take, followed by this one.
Come on, get that 6 up for second.
Joanne, Brianna Harper when it's all over, but it's Lieutenant Lydia.
8-6-5 or 8-5-6.
Brianna Harper might have got up for second in front of Sister Joanne, and a photo for 4th.
So let's take a look at, again, 8-6-2-3. And I had the 8-6. I'm not going to get the try there, but again, I used the 2 because the 2 was 28-1, and he did finish. He did figure in our chart here. But again, the 8 horse is 5-2 winner, and he is one already. The 8 and the 6 are the top 2 plays. And did we get 8-6? Or was it 8-5-6? It looks like 8-5. The 5 got second. It was an 8-5-6 finish. But I don't want to make this a long, drawn-out video. What I want to do, though, is just introduce to you the way my wheels are turning right now. And this may be something that we don't even have to add to anything else. This could be something that could stand alone with enough testing going on. And we'll see how it goes. All right, thanks for tuning in. And love to hear your comments or thoughts on this particular grid here.